This is a human warning. Today I'm going to review the last 9 horror movies I've seen, all of which were made in either 2024 or 2025. Bloody Axe Wound received a limited theatrical release in the United States on December 27th, 2024. First, I would call this a comedy horror. Teenage slasher. Set in present day. It's about the daughter of like a Jason Voorhees kind of serial killer who like keeps coming back from the dead, and he wants her to take over in his tradition, carry on the mantle. It was a watchable movie. I wouldn't say good or bad. I think that about most horror movies. So if you want like a comedic twist on the Halloween, Friday the 13th movies, this is slightly fun. Grafted came out in August 2024. It's about a girl who figures out one way or another how to cut off people's faces and wear them so she can like become that person. The big problem is she's a short little Asian girl, and like at one point, she's wearing a tall blonde chick's face. So, well, how does that make you tall, and how does that make the rest of your body white? So suspension of disbelief can only go so far. It's a fun movie. I mean, if you're a horror fan, then you never expect greatness. You just expect something kind of fun or spooky or whatever. So, this is take it or leave it. I think all of these are take it or leave it. The Woman in the Yard came out in 2025. It's about a woman in the yard that just keeps staring at a family. And that's a pretty cool premise. And you know what? That's all I really need. Just give me a woman in the yard dressed in black staring at me, and I'll watch the whole movie. I don't care. Of course, it doesn't really evolve into anything. It's a letdown, but a woman in the yard. It's almost like a Stephen King movie where, like, if you stopped it at half an hour, you'd be like, I really want to know what the hell's going on with that woman in the yard. But that's when you should just stop it, because don't worry, you're not going to want to know. It's not that cool. Bloat came out in 2025, starring Ben McKenzie, who you might know from the OC. I always called him the poor man's Ed Norton. Ben McKenzie was also in the TV show Gotham. He played Commissioner Gordon. He's also married to Morena Baccarin, who played the love interest of Deadpool in the Deadpool movies. This is basically, I guess you'd call it like a found footage movie, where it's all taken from the perspective of the character. And it's also done all on his desktop, so you watch the whole movie from his desktop. So you see him like making, Zoom calls and stuff like that. And I really enjoy movies like that. I'll always enjoy a found footage movie. And then, there's like a evil demon, and that's cool too. And I don't know. A fun time waster that I've watched more than once. If you watch something more than once, you know that it's at least better than bad. It's okay. Dead Male is a 2024 psychological horror thriller set in the 1980s. The movie sucks, so I'll just read the description. The film follows Jasper, a meticulous dead letter investigator in a small-town Illinois post office who discovers a bloodied plea for help among undeliverable mail. This discovery leads him into a dark mystery involving a kidnapped synthesizer engineer named Josh and his obsessive benefactor, Trent. Trent, a reclusive music enthusiast, becomes dangerously fixated on Josh's talents, leading to a twisted tale of obsession and captivity. This movie was just stupid. Don't watch it. Locked is a 2025 American thriller, which sucks, so I'm just going to read the description. It stars Bill Skarsgård, and who plays a petty thief who becomes trapped inside a high-tech luxury SUV after attempting to steal from it. Anthony Hopkins plays the vehicle's owner, who's turned the car into a deadly trap to punish criminals. Oh God, it really sucks. It just sucked. Don't watch it. The Assessment is a 2024 science fiction thriller, so technically it's not a horror. Actually, it's not a horror in any way. Starring Elizabeth Olsen, Alicia Vikander. She's the wife of Michael Fassbender, and she played the hot chick in Ex Machina, and some Indian guy that I've never heard of. So it's like some future time, right, when you're not allowed to have kids unless you're approved by the government to have kids. So Alicia Vikander, she's the assessor. Along comes her, and she's going to spend a week with them to see if they're good enough to have kids. So during that time, she plays all these mind games on them, especially acting like a child and, like, you know, burning down the house, basically. Well, literally. And seeing if they're good enough to be parents. I mean, it's well shot and it's well acted, and you know, I guess it's well done, but it's a really stupid idea. I would recommend it to my worst enemy because I'd want to see them suffer. Heart Eyes either came out this year or last year. I'm going to stop even caring. It's another, like, you know, well, we got a Halloween movie. It's like My Bloody Valentine, like, so a new serial killer for Valentine's Day. And that's basically all you get. It's got, like, you know, 2020s sort of, like, joking, like, you know, sarcasm. But otherwise, it's just a remake of Scream. It's basically, it's like Scream or, you know, Halloween. You know, it's well made, and I suppose I would recommend it, partly because it's just so stupid. But also it has creative little, like, murder scenes. So yeah, if you want to see a slasher movie, this is fun. Finally, the rule of Jenny Penn either came out this year or last year. Again, I stopped caring when. Starring Jeffrey Rush and John Lithgow. It's kind of sad to see these big actors struggling for work. It just reminds me that these big actors like Anthony Hopkins, all these people, they're not as rich as you think they are. They need the work. I literally just finished watching it half an hour before I started making this video. It's about an old folks home. A judge gets sent to an old folks home after he has, like, a hemorrhage or whatever, right? Gets paralyzed. And John Lithgow is a psychopath, an elderly psychopath who lives in the old folks home, who just lives to torment everybody in the old folks home. Now, I would say it was good, except that it wasn't. Obviously well filmed and well acted. I don't think there's really much of a story. But I would say, bottom line, I'm sorry guys, like, nobody wants to watch elderly people in an old folks home for 2 hours. Me personally, I'd rather see hot chicks running away from a ghost for 2 hours. I mean, maybe this would be a good horror movie for elderly people to watch who live in old folks homes. In the same way, maybe I would want to watch a movie about plane crashes while I was, like, flying on a plane. It's thoroughly unenjoyable. It relies entirely on the two main, you know, stars of the movie. The fact that they've got names from Jeffrey Rush and John Lithgow. Don't watch it. You know, I like both the actors, but you don't have to watch it because you like the actors. They got their paycheck, so don't feel bad for them. Do let me know if you want more reviews of bad horror movies that I watch. I'm not sure why you would want that, but let me know if you do. I mean, I like bad horror movies. They're comfort food. The best of the bunch in order, I would say, would be The Woman in the Yard, and then Bloody Axe Wound, and then Heart Eyes, and then Grafted. Oh wait, there's also Bloat, which I would put somewhere in the middle of them. And don't bother with the rest. And if you care about yourself, then like and subscribe. Help me help you. This has been your your human warning.